Hello my dear friends, and welcome to my channel. My name is Barbara, and today we're going to be looking at the secondary progressions in your natal chart. So very excited to get into this particular topic. Secondary progressions are different than transits because secondary progressions pertain more so to you, your internal world, what's actually happening to you as your personality grows and changes as you grow and change as a person. Now that being said, let's say you're super attached to, let's say, your sun sign or your moon sign. This does not mean that this is changing permanently, okay? You're still going to be, let's say, an Aries sun or an Aries moon. It just means that it's now progressing, okay? You're growing, you're going into a new phase of your life. So you can look at this as an additional energy on top of the energy that you already have. Personally, I find these secondary progressions to make a lot of sense. They resonate for me a lot, because a lot of the time you guys might not feel like a particular sign that you are, and this is because maybe your chart has now progressed into a new place. So that being said, it's different than transits because transits are going to affect you depending on what's going on with the planets and the world currently, okay? So that's the difference. The transits are going to affect you with what's happening currently in the world. You're going to look at what's happening currently. How does that affect my chart? What house is it affecting? These types of things. Whereas secondary progressions are more so personal to you, and they're more so about your personality, okay? So it's more so like, how is your personality growing and changing, whereas how are these external events affecting me personally at this time, okay? So that's really what's going on. So I love to look at it. Also, another thing with the secondary progressions is it's basically calculated in the sense that you're adding 1 degree for every year that you live, okay? And it kind of goes with the whole concept of, like, you're going to look at the first 90 days of your life, okay, when you're a baby, and you're going to see what kind of planetary events took place during those 90 days. They say that each day equals a year. Now, when I first heard this, I was like, okay, how does that make sense? But the whole concept is, let's say when you're born, you're an Aries sun, okay? Then you're gonna calculate how many days there are in between the Aries sun going into the Taurus sun, okay? And after you see how many days there are in between, maybe there's 20 days, 25 days, however it is, this is going to be the age when your sun is going to progress. So I actually calculated this for myself. There was actually 24 days between when the sun was in the placement that it was in when I was born, and then after it changed, after it shifted into the new sign, and I was actually 24 years old when my sun progressed into the new sign. So you guys can check it out for yourselves, play around with it and see if that resonates with you guys, if it makes sense. And same thing with the moon. So basically, the secondary progressions are going to affect more so your internal planets than your external planets, because the external planets move incredibly slow. So it's going to not really be something that changes or shifts that much, because the degrees, right, take slower to change and shift, right? Whereas the internal planets move faster. So you're going to see changes more so within your internal planets. Again, it depends on how the planet moves. So they say that if you're living up until the age of 80, even 90, because they basically look at like the 90 days. But if you're living up until this age, you're going to go through 3 different sun signs, okay? The moon sign changes every 2 years, okay? And then the rising, it depends on the degrees. So let's say you're in the earlier degrees of your rising and you do live up to be the age of 90, you might go through 4 progressed risings, okay? Some people might only go through 2 because they're in the later degrees of the rising. So it's really, really cool to look at, because it's going to tell you where you're at in terms of your current natal chart and what's going on. And then it's really cool because you can even go on these websites and basically get the 2 charts on top of each other and see how it has moved and how it has changed. So for the progressed moon, I'm probably going to be doing either mini series, or maybe I'm going to put it all in one video. I haven't quite decided how I want to do it yet, but regardless, I'm going to basically be going through each progressed moon sign so you guys can know what's going on with your moon sign, because the moon deals with our internal world, okay? So it's going to affect how you emotionally react to things. So as I was saying earlier, it's not going to change your particular sign, okay? So if you're super attached to whatever your, big 3 are, or your big 6 or whatever, right? It doesn't change it. What it does is it basically adds an additional energy to what you have. So let's say you're an Aries moon, right? you're probably super impulsive, you were maybe going after things before you're ready, these types of things. You've progressed now into a Taurus moon where it's like that energy subsided. Maybe you're not as impulsive as you were. Maybe now you're building towards something because you initiated something with the Aries moon. This is kind of how you want to look at it, okay? And the houses are going to be really important because the houses are going to tell you what's going on in that particular area of your life at that particular time. So this is why I love secondary progressions. So for you guys who are interested in maybe looking up your charts, I love to cross-reference. So I've gone on several different websites to see if they're all giving me the same things, if they're giving me the same houses. The website that I personally love to use is Astrology, so I'm gonna put it up there for you guys. You guys can go and check it out on there. I like how it basically has everything. It has the chart and then it tells you everything on the sides. You know, it tells you the sun is in this, it progressed into this, okay? Another website that you guys can check out, I know a lot of astrologers love this website, is astro.com. It is a good website as well because it gives you all of these different chart options, so you can basically look at every single, you know, thing that's going on in your chart on one website. So it's really, really cool. And on that website, you can also, you know, select the option of your natal chart and your progress chart on top of each other to see how it's moving and how it's changing. So that being said, another thing that's important to notice when you're looking at your progressed signs is the planet going retrograde? Is it stationary? These types of things, specifically even with Mercury retrogrades, because again, they say that when the Mercury is retrograde, it's going to have an effect on you more so than when it's stationary, right? So these types of things, you want to look at everything in your natal chart because all of these things are going to have an effect on what's currently going on in your life. Even your Venus might progress, okay? So you might go from, you know, having your Venus in Gemini where you want to date around, all these sorts of things, and then it progresses, okay, into Cancer. And now maybe you want to actually settle down, okay? Maybe now you want to, you know, build a home with someone, okay? Maybe you finally found a person after dating around, dating several people, and now you're ready to build with someone and you're not so interested in being in the outward energy. So it's really, really cool. It's really, really cool actually, because then you actually get to see how people change and grow and develop as people. Another thing that you guys want to look at also, because secondary progressions are based on the whole concept that, you know, for the first 90 days of your life, that each of those days is going to correspond to a year in your adult life. So what you want to do is you want to maybe go ask your parents and see what happened during the first 90 days that I was born. Was there anything significant? Because then those days are going to equal the year. So let's say when you were maybe 5 days old, okay, you guys decided to move homes. Maybe when you were 5 years old, you guys move homes again. Like this is kind of like the whole concept behind secondary progressions. So you can just see if there's any sort of parallels in your life and if it resonates in this type of way. Really, really cool. So I'm going to wrap up this video here, this quick little video on secondary progressions. It's really amazing because then you get to see how your chart progressed, how you've grown and developed as a person, and where you might be going in the future. So I hope you guys enjoyed my quick little video on secondary progressions. If you did, please do like, share, and subscribe. You can let me know in the comments below as well. And I hope you all have a beautiful rest of the day.